Bro, do you believe that the key to a currency isn't just technology, but also who sets the rules? Bitcoin once caused a fuss and split into Bitcoin Cash over governance issues. The question is, who will regulate Pi, and how can we prevent it from becoming a turf war among elites? Hello, I'm Anton. Welcome to the final module of the Pi Network Whitepaper Surgery series. This time, we will discuss a crucial topic, governance. Because without healthy governance, crypto can break apart, confuse the community, and the coin's value can collapse. Disclaimer first, bro. This video purely discusses the content of the Pi Network whitepaper as it is. I'm not adding personal opinions or encouraging buying crypto. The purpose is solely for education, for pioneers to better understand the coin they hold, for those against Pi Network to see what is actually written in the white paper. So once again, this is purely educational content. Bro, in the world of finance, there is one fundamental principle, trust. Just like the monetary system in the real world, crypto also needs trust to operate. Now, the problem is, early generation cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin use an informal governance system, or in other words, off-chain governance. This means that the rules are not clearly written in the protocol. Important decisions are often discussed in forums, mailing lists, or developer communities. In the beginning, this might not be an issue. But over time, serious problems arise. Wealth becomes concentrated in a small number of people, and eventually, politics also becomes centralized. Big holders can influence each other's interests, leading to a civil war or internal conflict. The clearest example? Bitcoin versus Bitcoin Cash. Due to disagreements over block size, the community split into two factions. The result? The network fractured, new tokens emerged, supply became inflationary, and many holders ultimately suffered losses. Bro, in the world of finance, there is one fundamental principle, trust. Just like the monetary system in the real world, crypto also needs trust to operate. Now, the problem is, early generation cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin use an informal governance system, or in other words, off-chain governance. This means that the rules are not clearly written in the protocol. Important decisions are often discussed in forums, mailing lists, or developer communities. In the beginning, this might not be an issue. But over time, serious problems arise. Wealth becomes concentrated in a small number of people, and eventually, politics also becomes centralized. Big holders can influence each other's interests, leading to a civil war or internal conflict. The clearest example? Bitcoin versus Bitcoin Cash. Due to disagreements over block size, the community split into two factions. The result? The network fractured, new tokens emerged, supply became inflationary, and many holders ultimately suffered losses. EY have a long-term plan to move towards liquid democracy. So everyone can choose, vote directly, or delegate their voting rights to someone they trust. The simple analogy is this, bro, before the stadium is full, Pi is still like a small concert. The committee, core team, is still managing the event. But the audience can still request songs, give input, even shout to make the atmosphere livelier. So it's not authoritarian, but not fully democratic either. If the first phase was still provisional, this second phase is when Pi fully enters the community governance level. This begins after the network surpasses more than 5 million users. In this phase, Pi will hold what is called a constitutional convention. Essentially, the community will collaboratively formulate long-term rules. A special committee is formed, consisting of people who have contributed to Pi for a long time, not just anyone. Meetings will be held globally, both offline and online, so that all pioneers have the opportunity to voice their opinions. From this, the Pi Constitution will be born, kind of a basic rule that will serve as the foundation for future governance. The goal is clear, to make Pi governance truly owned by the community, not just held by the core team. The core team will still exist, but more as facilitators, not absolute rulers. The simple analogy, bro, if in the initial phase Pi is like a small concert still managed by the committee, then in this phase Pi wants to be like a democratic country. The rules are made together by the people themselves for the common good. Everyone has a voice, everyone has a role. To avoid just wandering aimlessly, Pi Network has created a clear roadmap on how they develop this project from zero to a real currency. There are 3 major phases they have already determined. Phase 1, Design, Distribution, and Trust Graph Bootstrap. In this initial phase, Pi is still in emulation. This means that coins mined through the app cannot yet be sold externally. The goal is not for speculation, but to gather users and build a trust graph. So, people mine through the app, log in daily, create security circles, all to build a strong foundation of trust. Phase 2, Testnet. After the trust graph begins to form, they move on to the testnet. Here, the node software is actually run on computers. Developers and pioneers can participate in testing how this system operates in real conditions. The results of the testnet are continuously compared with the emulator from Phase 1 to ensure consistency and security. Phase 3, Mainnet. This is the peak phase, bro. Once the system is proven to be stable, Pi will officially launch the mainnet. At this point, only valid accounts, aka real humans, not bots, not duplicate accounts, will receive their honor balance. After that, Pi will have the opportunity to be listed on exchanges. And most importantly, in this mainnet phase, Pi's governance is no longer fully controlled by the core team, but becomes a joint responsibility between the community and developers. An easy analogy, bro. At this point, Pi truly becomes a living currency. Just like a grown-up baby, no longer controlled by just one parent. And this is the most awaited moment for all pioneers. Talking about governance in crypto, it's easy to say but hard to do, bro. Because on one hand, we want a fair system, but on the other hand, we must be prepared for all the political dynamics within the community. There are 3 major challenges that Pi must face. First, avoid concentration of power. Don't let only a handful of people or whales control the direction of the project. Governance must be truly open to everyone, not just those who hold the most Pi. Second, ensure that users genuinely have a voice. Voting or important decisions shouldn't just be a formality. Ordinary pioneers should feel that their voices are counted, not just as bystanders. Third, be prepared for differences of opinion. As a global community, disagreements and factions are inevitable. The challenge is how to manage differing opinions without causing the community to split, like the Bitcoin versus Bitcoin Cash case in the past.
The simple analogy, bro. Governance isn't about who is the strongest, but about who can keep the community moving forward together. Just like a football team, if everyone has ego, the team can break up. But if they can compromise and move forward together, they become even more solid.
If you want to understand more and enjoy a 2-person chat style, don't forget to check out the podcast version of this series. The discussion there is more relaxed, like chatting together while dissecting a white paper. Just check out my channel, bro, and look in the playlist section. So, bro, if we summarize everything we've discussed, governance is the key for Pi to truly become a cryptocurrency for and by the people. From provisional governance at the beginning to the plan for a constitutional convention in the future, the goal is clear. All important decisions are made by the community, not just by one party. And with this, the Pi Network Whitepaper analysis series is complete. We've gone through a long journey from why crypto was born in the first place, major issues in the early generation, mining solutions through mobile phones, Pi's unique economic model, real utility that can be used daily. up to governance and future roadmap. Now, we just wait to see how Pi can truly be realized in the real world, whether it aligns with its vision or if new challenges will arise along the way. I hope this series makes you more understanding, more critical, and more ready to make your own decisions about Pi Network. Remember, bro, all of this is purely educational, not investment advice. And of course, the journey doesn't stop here. So don't forget to subscribe, because after this white paper series, we'll continue discussing the latest updates on Pi Network and all the controversies that are always buzzing around it. I'm Anton. Thank you for staying with me from the beginning to the end of this series. See you in the next video, bro.